Oh, less than a minute. Less than a minute, sweet peas. La 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 la. Bum bum bum. Who's all watching? Oh, 20, 20, 19, 18. Look at that.
You are listening to Breakfast with Tiffany with your host, Tyffanie Morgan.
That's right, sweet peas. It's me. It's me. Bum. Well, hello there, my little sweet peas, my little love muffins from all around the big blue world. This is your hostess, Miss Tyffanie Morgan, calling to you live from Kingston, Ontario, Canada, the home of limestone and the home to me, Miss Tyffanie Morgan. Maybe we need to turn that up a little bit. There we go. There we go. Ooh, maybe not that much. Hey, sweet peas. Uh, it's a very busy. It's very, very busy. What can I say? It's crazy. February has turned into a very busy month for us all. I don't know about you, but I'm just, and I'm really looking forward to things coming. As the seasons change, as with the restrictions change, it's just so overwhelming. It's just a little bit overwhelming. There's so many possibilities, and now I have to just recognize that okay, I can go out and do stuff, but am I still gonna go out and do stuff? Because I hermit level, shut in hermit level has definitely gone through the roof for me. I'm like, ooh. Even going to the corner store, I'm just like, oh, there's people. There's people. What are these people? What are these people? I don't want to. It's like, oh my goodness sakes. I don't know about social interactions. I do live alone, so that's probably that's probably why that happens. I'm like that one crazy neighbor cat who only gives love to the owner and then just totally ignores you or runs away from you and stuff like that when it's a stranger, stranger danger cat, sort of thing. I'm like, oh, who are these people? I don't know these people. But yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, trust me, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna get out and get comfortable with human interaction again, as we all will eventually. Eventually. So yeah, sweet peas. So my name is Miss Tyffanie Morgan. I am if you're listening to this, it's on C4C 101.9 FM here in Kingston, Ontario, Canada, the home of limestone and the home to me, Miss Tyffanie Morgan. And Kingston is one of the public health areas, jurisdictions that will be going into the green zone, as they call it, the green zone. And I can't remember. This is the framework. This is the framework for action, the action framework. And so that opens the possibility for businesses to open up, restaurants, people can go out. Not that we weren't able to go out and for a walk on the street or something like that for physical exercise, but you're able to go in and buy a cup of coffee indoors or buy a drink or whatever you want to be doing. I know I know one of my neighbors here, the grad club, they posted a whole bunch of social media stuff already that they're like, oh, we can have people in here, and you see them, movies and stuff like that. For me, it would be dusting everything off too, because how long has it been since we've been in lockdown? I I remember. Where am I going with this? I remember. So we did some shows. We did some drag shows. So I'm Tyffanie Morgan, drag queen extraordinaire here in Kingston. Uh, we did some drag shows in December, and they were to raise money for Rainbow Railroad, which is a great charity. It's a really really great charity that saves LGBTQI lives around the world, getting them to safety and out of harm's way. Where was I going with that? Anyway, so those shows took place early December, and I don't know why. I think there was a many combinations, but they weren't really well attended. The shows. Do you have your coffee? Do you have your drinks? Because I'm going to take a sip of my coffee there. Oh, that's lovely. I put a little cinnamon into the coffee grounds, and ooh, there we go. It's a little something for Valentine's weekend. You know, a little cinnamon. Always, you know, those cinnamon hearts and stuff. So back to the shows. They weren't so well attended, and I don't know if it was because at the beginning of December, people started getting panicking. Yes, the numbers were growing here in Kingston. The numbers were growing in Kingston. The numbers were growing around the province. So I don't, for COVID positive cases. And I don't know if it was because of that or because of maybe other reasons, like people were just too busy or their money was tapped out. That is a big thing, too. You know, a lot of people who maybe precarious working or something like that, or they're working in industries that were basically shut down. Yeah, that could be a big issue though too. But anyway, so they weren't so well attended. And now that we're getting into green again, I'm like, you know, faced with the idea: do we do live in person drag shows again? And well, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I'm still asking myself that question. Uh, I do we do it? Like, would people be up for it? It's just kind of crazy. So we can celebrate that we're in green zone, but on the other hand, Minister Elliott said that if the variants get tested in any of these green zones that they open up, any of these zones that get opened up, uh, any of the variants are identified, they would shut down. Shut it all down. Just shut it down. Which is, I'm not questioning whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it just means that, you know, planning these sort of things in advance can be a bit difficult. A bit difficult. Like planning your 40th birthday during COVID, which I didn't have to do. Thank goodness. I did see some friends of mine who turned 30, and I'm like, oh. Oh, sweet peas. Oh, sweet peas. Wow, you poor things. Those big numbers you want to celebrate with lots of friends, lots of family, lots of acquaintances. But during COVID, not so much. Not so much. Um, but speaking of which, again, so we are listening to C4C 101.9 FM here in Kingston, Ontario. And, or you can be listening online to C4C on c4c.ca. If you would like to donate, you can donate to c4c.ca/donate now. And that money helps keep the programming and the radio waves and us on the radio waves. And yeah, it's a really great service for campus and community radio. A lot of emphasis on the community. So thank you, CFRC, for having me here on the airwaves. So I do appreciate it. Uh, Goodness sakes, well, I'm off script now. I did write a script. There's no guests today. Um, we've had quite a few awesome guests in the last couple of weeks. So I was able to interview Rowena Way. We talked about Canada's Drag Race. I talked to Ben Rogers about his campaign to end conversion therapy in the cities around Kingston here. Great job here already in the city of Kingston. But back to Canada's Drag Race. So Rowena Way and myself, we've been watching these videos that the Canada's Drag Race were posting on YouTube of last year's contestants talking about submitting applications. So applications were open for the season 2 filming of Canada's Drag Race. What is Canada's Drag Race? Well, it's the RuPaul spinoff. It's the RuPaul spinoff, but for Canada. And so those applications closed on Monday. I applied. Yes, sweet peas. This old queen This old queen, she ain't what she used to be, ain't what she used to be. This old queen decided, you know what? All these girls are constantly hounding me about, my old drag. Da, 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 da. Um, I'm all, well, how old am I? 41. I'm only 41. I've been doing drag for 21 years, though, mind you. Wow, that's a long time. Here in Kingston, it's all about the heritage, the herstory, as we call it, for here in Kingston. And yeah, I applied. It was mostly just to, uh, like as an accomplishment for myself to say to myself, yes, I can fill out the application form. I can do the photos. I can do the video. There was a video submission that you have to do as well. I can do that, and let's get that in. So that's in. What I didn't expect, which really did warm this old frozen heart of mine, this old frozen dark heart of mine, was I posted it on my Facebook profile. Because at the end of the application, there was like, oh, share this to your social media. And I'm like, oh, okay, fine. I'll, hit share. Oh, look, I applied to Canada's Drag Race Season 2. Well, let me tell you, sweet peas, let me tell you, that post is probably the number one post um, for 2021. And I know it's only February. I know it's only February. Maybe, let's just say the last 365 days. I have a lot of friends on Facebook, quote unquote, and quote unquote, and there was over 100 likes, and the response back. A lot of people were replying, and they're just giving me a lot of good well wishes and hopes, and I think a few of them thought that I was actually getting onto it, and I'm like, no, that's not what I wrote. I'm like, the application is in. I felt really good after setting in that application. It's just challenging yourself, right? It's a challenge for yourself, and I just felt waves of kind of like, I was just really happy. I was just really happy to make that accomplishment, do that accomplishment, and get it completed and sent out. Whether or not I get a call back or not, I think that's all secondary. That first accomplishment, I'm like, great, yeah, thumbs up, loving it, loving it. Hello, love. Hello, sweet pea. Sorry, someone just sent me a message here, and yeah, whoop, that didn't work. There we go. There we go. I'm just sorry, sweet peas. I know I shouldn't be doing this all at the same time. I'm doing a little chat here uh, while I record this live. I do broadcast this live on my social media, on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch as well. So, twitch.tv/Tyffanie Morgan. There we go. Uh, but yeah, I was really and just the community feedback was just, oh my goodness, dozens and dozens of comments, lots of great, hurrahs. They're wishing for me. It just really felt really, really good. So thank you if you did comment on that. So thank you very much for the support. Can you imagine though? And I know a lot of other local queens submitted their applications as well, and some of them are patiently, waiting for their second waiting for the callback, not the second phone call, the callback. And to be honest, to be brutally honest, I am more on edge about getting my seeds sent through the mail to me than I am for a second phone call. My priorities. I'm telling you, sweet peas, they're just totally wrong. They're totally wrong. They are totally wrong. I want my seeds. I want my seeds that I ordered almost a month ago. I want them delivered, and then we can start working on the Grow With Me challenge. The Grow With Me. So, hey, sweet peas, grow with me. Grow with me. I am doing a challenge this spring where you can join my little Facebook group and share in the growing experience. So I selected a few different types of seeds that if you want to buy them and grow them with me at the same time, we can then share in that kind of very unique experience. If you don't get those seeds specifically, we can still share. We can still share the growing experience. And just growing something from seed to fruit to flower or whatnot, I see it as a really growing experience. It's a mental health thing. It's an accomplishment. Just like I said, submitting that application, it's an accomplishment that it's an award for yourself. Sorry, I'm fumbling on my words today, but you're rewarding yourself with some great accomplishments. So if you go to Tyffanie.com, that's Tyffanie.com, you can see the list of seeds that that we're planning on growing. I'm waiting for those seeds in the mail, and once we get them, then we'll set out on our journey of starting them indoors and then planting them out. So while we're waiting for our seeds, because a lot of us are still waiting for the seeds, we won't be planting them uh, until like probably March anyway. I have yet to figure out because the seeds packages will tell me how many weeks before last frost and stuff to plan out. But if you are part of the Grow With Me challenge, which quite a few of you are, all right. So I've already talked about setting up your grow space. That's still in effect. We find a nice sunny, excuse me, a sunny spot, free from crazy pets or small children. With some good light, and start getting that ready to set up for your grow space. I already talked about that. We have the seeds coming in the mail, hopefully. Hopefully, you bought yours already. Let's also look at containers. So, if there's any takeaway containers, like reusing some plastics out there, right? Because reusing plastics is a great thing. Um, so if you have margarine containers, takeout containers, yogurt containers, whatever, we can reuse those to help grow some plants. And also, we need to start thinking about the growing medium, i.e., the soil. So quite often, you will see proprietary um, uh, germination mixes out there, seed starting mixes out there. Feel free to buy some of that if you're inclined to that. So what if you so just understanding the soils. So a seed starting soil or mix, whatever you want to call it. It's not really a soil, but anyway. There's all these believe it or not, there's slightly different variations between all these sort of things. But a seed starting mix is intended to help the seeds. So the mix contains very low nutrients, believe it or not, because all seeds have nutrients built into them. That little package, that little seed, is a package that has enough nutrients in it and enough willpower to grow until it gets, I think, about the first true set of the leaves. It has enough nutrients in there. So the seed starting mixes tend to be low nutrient. What they also are, which is the most important thing, I think, is that they're sterile. They've been sterilized from other seeds and from other funguses and other bacteria and stuff like that. It's a sterile mix. A good seed starting mix is definitely a sterile mix. And that helps with the seed germination because it means that the seed will have enough chance to get growing before a fungus or a bacteria attacks it and kills it before it starts growing. That's the difference. So if you don't have the resources, let's just say, if you don't have the resources to buy a special seed mix, hey, it's quite okay. I'm not. I'm not. I'm actually going to reuse some potting soil from last year and hope for the best. It's not sterile. I know that for sure, but I think it just responsible for me. It's just a decision that I'm going to make. I'm going to reuse some potting soil that I saved from last year. It will be low nutrient as well because it is used potting soil, and but I think I can chance it. I think I can chance it because I will be getting quite a bit of seed. So if one or two accidentally, you know, perish, hey, you always grow an heir and a spare, as they call it, an heir and a spare. You try to, if you want three plants, you may plant like 9 seeds, let's just say, or something like that, and hope for the best. And if they all come up, then you can share it with friends. Oh, I have a question here. When are callbacks? So that's going back to Canada's Drag Race. I don't know. Callbacks um, will happen after they review the applications. And if you send in an application right at the beginning in January for Canada's Drag Race, my understanding, please do not quote me, but my understanding is if that application was like, yes, we have to, no questions, that one has to be on, they would have given them a callback at that point. So there isn't any set time. Oh, and Rowena's just messaging. Anytime between now and March 1st is the callbacks. Oh, okay. So there we go. See, I learn something new every day. I am new to this Canada's Drag Race thing. I'm fairly new to RuPaul's Drag Race too. What can I say? I'm going on and on and on. There are other things. Where's my list now? So we're hopefully I'll be will be so yes, so containers, soil. Yep, okay. Next topic. Events. What's going on? What's going on in Kingston? Let's take a look here. So we're going to go to outin.ca. But outin.ca doesn't have one of these events that was just announced this morning. All right. So let's take a look here. So you're right now you're listening to Breakfast with Tiffany here on C4C 101.9 FM, which is a great service. Thank you. So oh, let's skip that one for a moment there. All right. So this weekend, this Saturday, this is a long weekend. So this Saturday, I'm doing a live broadcast on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, with some fabulous performers: Ricky Ranch Morgan, which is my drag sister, Mercury Wild, Rowena Way, and Lilith Kane. And we're doing a live program at 7 p.m. streaming online, and that's Hearts at Home. You can find the event on Facebook or go to dragshow.ca. Again, that's dragshow.ca, and you can watch that. It's something to do for Valentine's Day weekend. You know, you and your hubby, you and your spouse, you and the dog, whatever. Like, you know, you and a houseplant. Yeah, come out, log in and tune in and have a great time. I'm going to have a great time too. I'm really looking forward to it. Then on Monday, it is reunions, TShow reunions. So we're going to have a Kiki event where all these drag queens are just going to get together and just chat, as we call it, Kiki. We're going to talk about, you know, like TShow in the past when they performed with us, and maybe anything that really pops to mind. So my drag daughter Venus DeRogue Morgan will be joining us. I'm really looking forward because I haven't seen her in a while. Mercury Wild, Fenny Kruger, Mercury Wild. Yeah, she's going to be in the Saturday show too. Fenny Kruger, Rowena Way, Lilith Kane, and Mimiosa. I think this is going to be something you can't miss. You can't miss. So that's 8 p.m. This Monday. And What's the Maple Tea is every Friday at 7 p.m. with me and Rowena Way. So that is a sit down. We talk about RuPaul's Drag Race season 13 and anything that pops to mind. We'll probably talk about, you know, our recent application submissions. Oh, Rowena. Okay. Rowena's just telling me that there's bingo at Spearhead. Oh, yes, because we're now in the green zone. You're able to go back to Spearhead. So Rowena does bingos on Wednesdays at Spearhead. So I would believe you would go to Spearhead's website to find some details about that. She may tell me otherwise in the chat here. And the big news the really, really big news. Priyanka, what's my name? Priyanka, what's my name? Uh, she is the reigning queen of Canada's Drag Race Season 1. She is the queen of Canada. Um, she is coming to Kingston. She is coming to Kingston on Friday, March the 5th. So this was just announced this morning. You may be hearing this for the first time. You probably are hearing this for the first time. So she will be performing along with a few other local queens, maybe. I'll be there for sure, doing the audio and lighting. And, what do you like in your coffee, Miss Priyanka? I'll probably be doing that. And, so that is Friday, March the 5th. You can go to Eventbrite to find details about that, or go to dragshow.ca because, I like promoting my stuff. So yeah, that's gonna be fabulous. So you can buy tickets. Buy tickets now. Buy tickets now. What else do I? Oh, Hearts and Oh, we're back to that. There we go. What other events are happening in Kingston? So, you're the Queer Prom Radio. This is Thursdays. That's today. Thursdays at 4 p.m. What's the maple tea? Gender Talk is on Tuesday at 5 p.m. And Queer Prom Radio, that's on CFRC. That's on this program, CFRC.ca, CFRC 101.9 FM. Gender Talk is also here on CFRC 101.9 FM. And yeah, that's great. I'm sure there's a few other events that will probably pop up. Probably pop up now that we're open to the green zone here. Open for business. We're open for business. All right. Goodness sakes. So I was going to talk a bit again. Just looking at the time here, I still have some more time here. So let's talk a bit more about the Grow With Me. So go to Tyffanie.com. And then you can find out what the seeds are, and then you can also find links to join the Facebook group, where quite a few other people have joined. And once we start getting growing, I'm hoping everyone shares like some photos, some stories about how they're growing. We'll see how I know someone who's joined lives in Toronto, and all they have is a balcony. So I've chosen some seeds that you can grow from a balcony. You can grow in a pot. Quite often, a lot of these fruits and vegetables and flowers and stuff that I grow them in pots in the greenhouse. It just seems easier that way sometimes. Whoops, sorry. And yeah, so hopefully we'll get the seeds by the end of February. That's when I'm cross fingers, sweet peas, cross fingers. Hopefully we'll get the seeds by the end of February, and then we'll have enough time to figure out when to plant them. But my goal to plant them outside and to get them into the garden, get them on the patio, in a pot in a patio, get them into the greenhouse, get them into your garden, wherever I'm thinking that date is a pretty much set date of Victoria Day weekend. May 2-4, as they call it, May 2-4 weekend. That is a traditional time in most of Southern Ontario where you go to the garden center, you buy plants, and you stick them into your garden, right? Because that's definitely well ahead, like the last frost date. I think here in Kingston, we're kind of like a zone 5, 6 or something like that. I think the last frost date is the beginning of May here in Kingston, but you kind of still want the weather to warm up a bit. You want the soil to be a little bit warm to put your little baby seedlings into. So May 2-4 is a so we'll put that date as our kind of milestone, and we want to have little seedlings and plants ready to plant out for then. So I still have yet to figure out those timelines. We'll work them out. But even if you're growing other fruits and vegetables and you want to, or flowers or whatever you are, feel free to join our group too. Anyway, sweet peas, I gotta go. This is only a half-hour program. You're listening again to CFRC 101.9 FM. And I already hit the button a little too early. And sweet peas, thank you so much for listening. Mwah. I give you my love. You stay safe now.